I vibe with this. Okay, Victor, what do we learn? Stop. Stop being a meme. Stop. All you have to do is just do it after a move. Don't be meme. Don't be meme. Don't throw two knives. Just don't. It has not ended well ever. This is me convincing myself to not. What are you doing? I'm trying to read that right now, so I'm not throwing knives. Yeah, if it offends people, then it can be dark. If you want to get into the semantics of that, then I'm totally down for that. But my definition of dark humor is that if it offends somebody, it can be dark. Ooh. But then you have to like dumb to like, okay, so what exactly does that mean? But some people think of it as more like more serious things. If you can offend someone by saying, honestly saying whatever. The other thing too is like, regardless of how you feel about it, one way people cope with like traumatic situations and horrible stuff is by joking about it and like make it a comedic setting. They use humor to cope with it. Whether or not people agree with it, it is a coping mechanism at the end of the day. Some people need that to like stay sane and like feel better about the situation. Hoi! Huh! Hoya! Hoya. Hoi. By the way, you know how I'm leaving stacks at the doors of knives and stuff? When I get to the Ancient Wyvern in Dark Souls 3, I'm gonna have to leave like a shitload of knives at the door. Or what did I think these shodels? What are they called? The big ass like kukris. Talking about kukris. Shodel. You have to do like a million kukris at the door. Like 6 or 7 stacks, something like that. That's enough. Yep, called it. I'd have to control the urge to throw more knives just to make this faster. There's no reason. Crit. Only if it's your trauma? Yeah. Well, why does that be your trauma necessarily? Like, what about traumatic events that happen around the world? I guess, yeah, some people can be personally affected by those when most people, like, when the world can feel its effects. Like, I guess we can use 9/11 as an example. Like, I know, like, it's a world tragedy, but people have personally lost from it as on top of, like, other stuff. So I guess I can see that too. Well, I mean, the world is also a messed up place. there's tons of bad stuff everywhere, so... Again, some people need the humor to cope with what's going on, so... I don't personally mind, especially if it's not hurting anybody. Which is why you should be careful with it. Although some people, it's hard to say too, because on the other hand, some of these people get offended by you simply breathing like the way they don't prefer you to breathe. So it's hard to say. I don't. As long as you're not like actually like, if the person's not being a baby, like they're genuinely hurt by it, then don't. Well, how you define that's like a whole nother issue entirely. But you can tell, like when you've like been around enough people, like when you check your outfit for like a minute or so, like, you can tell who like gets offended at everything and who doesn't. You can certainly tell. Oh, crit! I heard a crit. Yeah. I'm of the opinion that I'm cool for like people need to like lighten up a bit more. Like sometimes it's not a personal attack. It's not that serious. And yeah, some of them are pretty tasteful. I think. Obviously, like don't shout out the N-word a bunch. Like that's not. No. But, like, there's some tasteful, like, race jokes out there. And whether or not people like it, there are stereotypes out there. Like, sorry to say. Like, that's just how it is. Oh, my. Okay, I can get my sack now. Let's see, get him away. Use a laggy move. Oh, great. Yeah, that's perfect. He jumps. That's neat. Yeah. Because, like, nobody focuses on, like, them. We just think, haha, they have it all good and stuff, so they're never the center of attention. It's just assumed at this point. So when other like, minorities are being focused on, they're like, why aren't we getting any attention? They start making it all about them, but I'm like, no, other people need the attention, bro. Like, it's not a lot of other people need it better. Yeah. They always try to be like allies, so I feel like, oh, I support them, like, I'm an ally, I like this stuff too. I'm like, shut up. Like, what, you want to cook your something for, like, saying you're a good person? Like, you're supposed to be a good person. You're not supposed... If you're trying to get something out of being a good person, you're not a good person. Yeah, it really is, though. But I mean, of course they don't think it's good because they have nothing to protest about. So they assume it's for no reason, but they don't understand. There's a reason why people protest. Like, if you don't understand why people are protesting, then it's probably not. If the protest in question is probably like not for you. It is. And another thing too, when you say all lives matter when they mention Black Lives, so like, okay, so are you gonna help people in third world countries? Are you gonna like let in homeless people into your house and feed them? Are you gonna take care of all those like mentally disabled kids, starving kids, like people being oppressed in other countries? Are you gonna help them too? Do those lives matter? But I thought, and then you're like, well, no, it's not like, oh, but I thought all lives mattered. What happened? You just pull that card on them. Like, okay, so what about all the other people that are suffering on the planet? Do they matter? Are you gonna help them? Like, honestly, if you're not gonna like do anything about it, you're just gonna say stuff. Then stop talking. Yeah. I'm just taking it a step further. No, they can't. Yeah, people's voice need to be heard. And it's also funny too. Remember a few months ago when the pandemic was still like a point of like of seriousness, like when it just started. People like, well, what? It was them too. They were like, well, I guess we'll go out. It's fine. Let our grandparents die. Who cares? They're old enough already. I'm like, oh, but now you're saying all lives matter when you wanted old people to die like months ago so you can continue your social life. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if like the politics like offending anybody, but like it's good to talk about. I don't care about talking about it. It should be talked about more. People should not be afraid to talk about it more. But I think it's maybe because like they don't want to like lose their friends or anything. But I'm like, well, if you like to say. You can't like all the same things as your friends and like have the same view as your friends. That's kind of dumb. Well, of course, as long as like we're all trying to look out for each other, then that's fine. But people are like, we need to talk about it more. Whoop. I didn't need to roll. I could have thrown another knife. Never roll through it. Bring it, bitch. No greed. No greed. No. No greed. Bad. Bad, Victor. No greed. Don't think about that. Don't throw another knife. Don't. You don't. Ooh, crit. Right.